What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Krappy Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making chicken cordon bleu. I figured I made red meat last time, I will make chicken this time. And it's going to be pretty simple. Just follow very carefully. It is not the traditional chicken cordon bleu with a Swiss cheese. I change it up a little bit, and you can change it up for your flavor palette as well. But it is a simpler way to make the dish, and I will show you how to do it in your own kitchen without the tools that the chefs always have. So let's move over here to the ingredients. I have already set up thin cut chicken breast. I have my boar's head ham over here, my boar's head provolone. I have some ranch dressing. I have a couple of extra cheeses, a bowl with an egg obviously, and some half and half, and I'll explain that. And I have my breadcrumbs. Now the first thing I'm going to want to do is make this chicken a little bit thinner, because it'll be easier to roll up as chicken cordon bleu. Now, I don't have a meat mallet. So is it the end of the world for me? No, of course not. What am I going to use? I'm going to use a mug. That's right. I don't have a meat mallet, but I have a mug. So I take the mug and I smack the chicken away from me. And you see how it's flattening out? Now don't go too hard, because if you do, you make it a little bit transparent. And see, I don't need a meat mallet to do something like this. We're not trying to tenderize beef here. All I'm doing is to check the thinness to make sure it's nice and thin. It'll be easy to roll up. And why do I have the saran wrap on top? I'll tell you. Well, number one, there's no chicken splashing everywhere, and it keeps it a little bit more controlled. Which means you won't put the mug right through the chicken. Now, I didn't buy chicken breast and cut it thin. I bought it already thin cut. Let's make this as easy as possible, right guys? Now, you just feel around. If you feel any high points in the chicken, just smack it down a little. Alright, and that's it. You can tell that they're much wider now. Let's put that down. Take off the saran wrap, get rid of it. Okay, now, the first thing you're going to want to do, shake up your dressing. Make sure it gives you a problem opening it, just like it's giving me. Okay, hold on one second. Just needed to get myself a spoon, because I'm going to put a little dab on each one. Don't go too crazy. I actually put a little bit too much on that one. And you'll see why. Normally I would say you have to season your chicken, but you don't, and I'll show you again why. Well, number one, the fact that you have ranch dressing coating the entire chicken is a definite plus. Okay, now we're moving on to what's going to be on the inside of your chicken here, because basically this is stuffed chicken. So you're going to take, these slices are huge, so I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to put it in the middle there. Again, fold it. Make sure it fits in there. Okay, now the cheese part is a little different. You're not going to lay it like that. You got to break up this cheese, first of all, because you can't have it the way it is. And I'll show you again why. You're only going to be putting the cheese down on one end. I know some of you thinking, what are you doing, Tom? Put some cheese on there. Don't worry. I like to mix it up a little. As we know, that's a little provolone. I gotta put a little Parmesan in there. Now remember, guys, a little goes a long way on these. Don't go crazy. You'll have a big cheesy mess on your hands. Oh, what did I forget to do? I forget to preheat my oven. Make sure you turn this on to about 400, 425. Actually, bring it down to about 375. You don't want to burn what you will see later. Hold on. When I preheat my oven, I like to preheat a little hotter than what I want it to be, because when I first open it to put everything in, you're losing a lot of that heat. So what's the point? If you want to preheat, make sure you overheat it a little bit and then lower it down to the heat that you want to go. Oh, and this was Asiago. Okay, now, the fun part. You're going to take the end where the cheese is, you're going to flap it over, and you're just going to roll this puppy up. Boom, there's one. There's two. Come on, tell me those don't look good. And does it look that difficult what I'm doing? Apparently it does not. Okay, and there you go. That's the beginning of your chicken cordon bleu. Let me come over here and wash my hands, because washing your hands is very important. When dealing with chicken, you don't want to spread salmonella poisoning everywhere. So make sure you get your fingers nice and clean. At least, you know, count to 20 when you're doing it. But seriously, every time you touch that chicken and you're going to touch something else, wash your hands first. You're here to make people happy with your food, not sick. Alright, moving on. Now what you're going to want to do, besides cover your dressing so it doesn't go bad, you're going to want to crack that egg in there. Add a little half and half. Using half and half is better than just using milk when you want to bread anything. You might not be able to tell the difference on this with the half and half, but like in one of my future episodes when I do fried calamari, homemade fried calamari for you guys, you'll see the difference with the half and half. You don't want it look too yellowy. You want it to look like an eggnog type mixture. Okay. I have a little casserole dish here. Just give it a little spray so, you know, your stuff doesn't stick in there. Okay. Now I have it set up in this order because what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it, I'm going to bread it, and I'm going to put it right in the casserole dish. No need to make other dishes. That one's stuck under there on the cutting board at the end. Now remember, you don't want this to flop open, so keep it closed when you're dipping it. Be nice and gentle. I mean, it's food. It's not going to attack you. Don't be afraid of the breadcrumbs or getting dirty. You know you're going to have to wash your hands. And then right in. Tell me that wasn't easy. Please, let me see some comments below. I'm showing you guys how to make what the chefs have been charging you tons of money for. Yeah, your hands are going to get dirty, but who cares? The sink is there so you can wash your hands. You're going to have to squish these suckers together, I know that. Or just use a bigger pan. But try not to use like any metal pans or anything because you could burn the bottoms of these very easily. Okay, there you go. Like before. First get all the crud off your fingers. You can just skip ahead on the video. I'm not going to edit this out. You guys really better start washing your hands. If you want to be good cooks, you got to do it all the way, guys. Not just half. Wash your hands. Seriously. Alright, well, this is done, so I can dump this out. The egg mixture is done. Cutting board is done. And make sure you put away your stuff or else it's going to go bad. Make sure you take your saran wrap off your stove so it doesn't melt. And now this is what we're dealing with here. I have 5 chicken cordon bleus, all breaded. Try to get some space in between. And yes, I'm going to be washing this hand again, so you can make sure the heat gets in there. Okay, now I'm going to put it right into the oven. And I'll be right back once it's cooked. Alright, well, welcome back. It has been in there for approximately about 30 minutes. And the last 5 minutes I turned it on broil so it can just, you know, toast the breadcrumb on top a little bit. Let's see how it came out. Oh man. I really wish you guys can smell this right now. As you can see, the cheese is starting to come out. Now this is just the natural juices that you'll find from the chicken, the ham, the cheeses and stuff like that. Believe it or not, only a little bit of the cheese is coming out, but when the cheese is melting out like that, you know it's cooked all the way through. In order for the cheese to melt out like that, it would have to heat up to a certain temperature, which means the chicken on the outside heated up just as much. So that's basically it right there. That is your chicken cordon bleu. You can serve that on a plate with any type of side, pasta, rice, or just even salad, like what I'm going to have tonight. Maybe a hunk of bread. And that was another episode of the Krappy Kitchen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stick around. The next episode should go Italian.